Have you ever met someone who barely exists online? No selfies, no birthday posts, no photos of their morning coffee or vacation spots. Just silence. In a time when we measure confidence by visibility, these people seem almost invisible. But here's the secret. Invisibility can actually be a sign of strength. Psychology reveals that those who don't post their photos online aren't just private, they're often more self-aware, emotionally secure, and grounded than the average person. So today, we'll decode the fascinating psychology behind people who choose silence in a world addicted to attention. People who avoid posting pictures aren't necessarily secretive. They simply value control over their inner world. According to psychologists, this behavior is linked to something called privacy orientation, the desire to manage what others know about you. While most people chase likes and comments for validation, these individuals rely on self-validation. Think about it. When you know who you are, you don't need applause to prove it. Someone who keeps a low online profile might be signaling, "I'm happy, but I don't need you to see it to believe it." That quiet confidence shows a deep sense of inner stability. It's not arrogance, it's peace. Imagine two people. One constantly posts new selfies, seeking reassurance in the comments section. The other lives fully, but keeps those experiences personal. The second person isn't hiding, they're choosing. That choice is power. Next comes self-awareness, the ability to understand one's emotions, motives, and identity without external input. Research on self-concept clarity shows that people who share less online tend to have stronger identities. They don't feel lost in the noise of trends because they've already defined themselves. When your sense of self is stable, you don't need the algorithm to tell you who you are. They know what matters: relationships, growth, purpose, not virtual affirmation. This clarity helps them avoid unnecessary comparisons and emotional burnout. They think, why should I measure my life in likes when I can measure it in peace? That mindset builds emotional resilience, a quality sorely missing in the digital age. Many psychologists link low posting habits with secure self-esteem. That means their confidence isn't built on recognition, it's built on self-trust. These individuals don't post selfies to prove their worth because they already feel whole. They've made peace with their imperfections. They don't need filters or feedback. You could say they've upgraded from external validation to internal peace. This inner confidence lets them focus on real-world goals, career growth, deep relationships, personal learning, things that bring lasting fulfillment. They aren't worried about online status, they're investing in reality. Someone with secure self-esteem can go a year without posting a single photo, but still feel deeply content. Their self-worth doesn't fluctuate with engagement metrics, it grows through experience. Have you noticed how the loudest people online often post without thinking? In contrast, quiet profiles usually belong to deep thinkers. These individuals practice introspection before expression. They don't upload impulsively, they communicate meaningfully. Psychology calls this trait an internal locus of evaluation, meaning they judge their choices based on their own standards, not on society's. This mindset creates authenticity. They prefer genuine conversations to surface-level likes. They observe life instead of broadcasting it, and often that observation leads to wisdom. While influencers might post 10 filtered moments of happiness, a deep thinker may share one piece of insight that genuinely impacts others. Less noise, more truth. Avoiding constant posting can protect mental health. Social media runs on social comparison theory, a psychological concept where people unconsciously compare their lives to others' highlight reels. But here's the trap. Those comparisons are never fair. You're not seeing reality, you're seeing curated perfection. People who post rarely understand this illusion. They know that constant comparison leads to anxiety, low self-esteem, and emotional fatigue. So what do? They choose peace over performance. They disconnect from digital competition and reconnect with authenticity. They might still use social media, but with boundaries, scrolling less, posting less, and living more. It's not withdrawal, it's awareness. A person who limits online sharing isn't detached. They're practicing emotional hygiene, protecting their mind from invisible stress caused by endless comparison. When you put all these traits together, a clear pattern appears. People who don't post often usually share these psychological qualities. High emotional intelligence, they understand what really matters. Balanced self-esteem, their worth isn't dependent on attention. Self-regulation, they control impulses instead of reacting to trends. Introspective thinking, they analyze before acting. Peace-oriented mindset, they value mental calm over public validation. Each of these traits forms a quiet kind of strength, one that doesn't scream for attention but silently radiates confidence. So the next time you see someone who doesn't post their pictures, don't mistake their silence for insecurity. They might be living a richer life offline, more grounded, more emotionally intelligent, and more content than many of us plugged into the digital stage. They don't need to be seen to feel seen. Their confidence doesn't need applause, it just needs authenticity. In a world obsessed with the spotlight, privacy is becoming the new luxury. And for some, that luxury reveals a different kind of power, the power of peace. Because true confidence isn't loud, it's quiet, steady, and deeply personal. If you love understanding the hidden reasons behind human behavior, the real psychology that shapes our choices, don't just scroll past. Hit subscribe, because here we don't just watch people's lives online, we decode their minds.